Okay, just imagine this for a second. An entire city, a sprawling medieval metropolis, packed with hundreds of magnificent mosques, just vanishes from memory. Well, today we're going to dive into one of history's great vanishing acts, the incredible story of the lost mosque city of Bagerhat.
So our story really kicks off right here with this absolutely incredible structure, the Sixty Dome Mosque. Now, for centuries, this was pretty much the only landmark of a city that, well, didn't officially exist. It was part of a bustling metropolis that had been completely swallowed by the jungle. And we're not just talking about one building here. This was the forgotten heart of a massive, massive urban center.
Which, raises a pretty staggering question, doesn't it? I mean, how does an entire city, we're talking 360 mosques, public buildings, roads, the whole shebang, how does it just vanish into the jungle and disappear from history for centuries?
I know, it sounds totally impossible, right? But for hundreds and hundreds of years, this vast 15th-century city was completely hidden, just totally obscured by the thick, dense vegetation of the Bengal Delta. And when it was finally rediscovered, wow, it revealed one of the most significant sites of its entire era.
Okay, so who was the mastermind behind this incredible feat of city building? To really get a handle on this city, you first have to understand its visionary founder.
The man's name was Ulugh Khan Jahan. And get this, he wasn't just a military officer or just a governor. He was both of those things, and a devout Sufi saint. It's this wild combination of roles, warrior, administrator, and spiritual leader, that was really the driving force behind this totally unique city. So his mission took him right here, to the Sundarbans. Now, this is one of the world's largest and, frankly, most treacherous mangrove forests. Back in the 15th century, the Sultan of Bengal basically gave Khan Jahan this monumental task. Go tame this wild environment and establish a foothold for us. And boy, did he succeed. He established a city that was so prosperous, it actually minted its own coins. At the time, it was known as Khalifabad, and it very quickly became a super important outpost for the Bengal Sultanate. But here's the thing, Khalifabad wasn't just some accidental settlement that popped up. No way. This was a master-planned city. Khan Jahan went about it systematically, building all the infrastructure needed for a thriving population. First, he laid down a whole network of roads and bridges. Then, he created these huge reservoirs for fresh water. And finally, he constructed hundreds of public buildings and mosques. And this meticulous planning, it wasn't just about the practical stuff like roads and water. It extended to the buildings themselves, which resulted in this really distinct and beautiful architectural signature that historians now call the Khan Jahan style. So what exactly is this style? Let's break it down. It's defined by a few key features. For starters, almost everything is built from baked brick. The walls, they're incredibly thick, and they often taper upwards. You'll also see these really distinctive kind of stout circular towers on the corners. And then there's the intricate terracotta art and, of course, a whole lot of domes. And right here, you can really see that style in action. So on the left, you've got the 9-dome mosque, and you can see that massive, super sturdy form. Then, on the right, we're zooming in on one of those corner towers, and you can see all that detailed brickwork and that powerful circular design. It's pretty amazing. It's both monumental and incredibly intricate at the same time. But of all the amazing structures in Khalifabad, there is one undisputed masterpiece, the crown jewel. And it's the building we saw right at the beginning, the Shayet Gumbaz Masjid. Okay, so here's a little fun fact for you. In Bengali, Shayet Gumbaz literally translates to the 60 Dome Mosque. But if you actually count the domes on the roof, you'll find there are 77 of them. So what gives? Where does the name come from? Well, the leading theory is that it doesn't refer to the domes at all, but to these 60 massive stone pillars inside that hold the whole thing up. And when you get up close, the craftsmanship is just, well, it's breathtaking. I mean, think about it. This is all built from simple baked brick, but the walls were just covered in this incredibly delicate terracotta artwork with these complex floral and geometric patterns. It really shows you this was a city built not just for function, but for pure beauty. All right, so we know how it was built, and we know it got lost to the jungle for centuries. So how was this incredible legacy finally rediscovered? Well,
That's our final chapter, a story of rediscovery, preservation, and a city's triumphant return to history. So after it was founded in the 15th century, the city just kind of faded into obscurity for hundreds of years. It wasn't until way later, in 1895, that it was finally surveyed properly by archaeologists. But the real turning point, the game changer, came in the 1980s. That's when UNESCO stepped in, developed a plan to preserve it, and then, in 1985, officially made it a World Heritage Site.
So why is it so important to all of us? I think UNESCO's official designation really captures it perfectly. They call it an outstanding example of an architectural ensemble, which illustrates a significant stage in human history. What that really means is this isn't just a random collection of old buildings. It's a complete snapshot of a civilization, the Bengal Sultanate at its absolute peak. And so today, these restored mosques, like the one you see here reflected in the waters of one of those ancient reservoirs, they just stand as this powerful, beautiful testament to that golden era. They're a real physical link to a lost world, one that was literally rescued from the jungle and preserved for all of us to see.
You know, the story of Bagerhat really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Here was this entire forgotten world, just hiding in plain sight for centuries. And it makes you think, what other incredible wonders from our past are still out there, just beneath the surface, waiting to be rediscovered?